Enormous worldwide success with the likes of Annie's Song and Rocky Mountain High. And I'll be talking to him in a moment, if the fog ever clears. First, you always know what anybody's going to sing on this show.
There's a tenderness that I feel, very real, you see. I can feel your body stir so deep within. Let it be an act of love tonight, completely. Let me ask of you one thing. Don't close your eyes tonight. Just look at me. See how many times I cried for you. Don't close your eyes tonight. Let it be me, not just a fantasy. Let it be me tonight. You can lie so close to someone and still feel all alone. Though I've heard you say you love me so many times, when you give me love so beautiful, tender, someone else is in your mind. Don't close your eyes tonight. Just look at me. See how many times I cried for you. Don't close your eyes tonight. Let it be me, not just a fantasy. Let it be me tonight. Sorry if I cried, but feelings run so deep. And many is the time when I wake up and find I've been crying in my sleep. Look me in the eye and tell me what you see. I'm the one who loves you, I'm the one who needs you. Make this one for me. Don't close your eyes tonight. Just look at me. See how many times I cried for you. Don't close your eyes tonight. Let it be me, not just a fantasy. Let it be me tonight. Don't close your eyes tonight. Just look at me. See how many times I've cried for you. Don't close your eyes tonight. Let it be me, not just a fantasy. Let it be me tonight. Don't close your eyes tonight. Just look at me. See how many times I've cried for you. Don't close your eyes tonight. Let it be me, not just a fantasy. Let it be me tonight.
Very pretty song.
Thank you.
I think somebody just told us to get out there.
No, no, no.
Was it Far Out?
Far Out.
Far Out, yes. Old American chap.
I said that 733 times in the 6 weeks that I performed here at this theater.
This is where you did the series, wasn't it?
That's right, yes, sir.
And don't you always say that that was, for you, that expanded your career, in a sense, because you were able to let yourself go and find out what you could do?
It was my first step in television, in entertainment television. I had done a couple documentaries prior to that.
Yeah.
And it got to be pretty obvious that I was going to have the chance to do my own special, let's say, in the United States sooner or later. And what I wanted to do was to come someplace where there wasn't quite so much pressure on the subject, and to stretch out a little bit and see if I could dance and what kind of comedy I could do. And this is where we did it, with Stanley Dorfman directing 6 live shows.
Trying it
Shepherd's
out.
Bush Green.
Trying it out on the poor unfortunate British, eh?
Well, I hope it wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't. It looked good.
Thanks.
Now, you were relegated to a minor dressing room, of course, because I've got the big dressing room now.
I don't mind.
Do you remember? Do you have happy memories of Shepherd's Bush and the dressing room? And
Well, aside from the many happy memories that I have here at the theater, there are a lot of memories that happen next door at the pub.
yeah. In fact, you were in there just before the show, right?
I was compelled to stop by and have a pint of bitter.
That's right. He came wandering in here at about 5 to 7 with a big pint of bitter in his hand.
Actually, it was a black and tan.
Yeah.
Off and off, I believe. Is that how?
Off and off, yeah. So, just to get to something slightly more serious, I know that your father was a great pilot. You've been very keen on flying, and in fact, you were meant to be aboard. At one stage, you were meant to be aboard the Challenger, that had that tragic crash.
Well, so Terry, I was responsible for the whole Citizen in Space program getting started. And until President Reagan announced a year and a half ago during his presidential campaign that he was going to send a teacher first, I thought that I would be the first one to go, and that was my flight last January.
He sent Krista McAuliffe.
Krista McAuliffe, yes.
I mean, obviously your feelings must be very mixed.
Well, no, not mixed at all. I had a great deal of respect. I knew all of the astronauts on board. I knew Krista. I support NASA 1,000%. I think it's one of the best things going on, not only in the United States, but in the world. And I really feel that one of the ways to allow people to understand what is going on with our space effort and how much it addresses many of the problems that we face here on the planet Earth, and in fact how much it can do to alleviate this problem of hunger that Bob Geldof was here speaking about earlier. There are things that come out of NASA that are directly attributed to that or directed towards that. And I want people to know that. I think NASA should be supported by everybody, and I think the way to do that is to have some kind of connection between people like you and I and what goes on up there. And I thought that the way to do that was to send a private citizen, and I volunteered to do that
Would you
3.5 years ago.
Would you go if there were another challenge?
I would go right now. I would go tomorrow if it were possible.
Now, you campaigned, I know, in your own right, against hunger, so quite obviously you're an admirer of Bob Geldof's enormous
A great
achievement.
admirer. You know, back in the late 70s, I served on a presidential commission studying hunger in the world. And the determination of our commission after 2 years of arduous study is that we really do have enough to go around. We produce, as a matter of fact, enough to feed twice the population of the planet. There are not too many people. And it was a determination of our commission that all that stands between us and the end of hunger in the world is the political will to do something about it. Now, I disagree with that. I think what is required is the popular will, and that when it becomes the will of people like you and me, that's what makes it political. So I think that what Bob has done, more than the money that he's raised through Band-Aid and Live Aid and all the other things that he's been involved with, the greatest thing that's come out of that is that it's really in front of everybody's mind now that we do in fact have the wherewithal to end hunger, that it's up to us, that the commitment to just go out and be a part of this race, to take a stand some way in your life, is what is required to see its end. And God bless him for what he's done, and I hope that there are more like him. I hope that we can do a lot more to serve the things that he's involved with and see the end of this obscenity in our lives.
You're wearing one of the T-shirts, of course. And
Well, he grabbed me backstage and said I have this, and I couldn't resist. You know, It's like Bob, I was watching your interview with him, and you were asking him why me and how does it keep going on. Once you make a commitment like this, it's like you can't say no. And I see that in him. And there are so many things coming to him that are beyond anything I think that he ever dreamed of. And he can't say no. And I can't say no. And so when he said, "You're going to wear one of our shirts?" I said, "Of course." Yeah. And I'm going to be in Nottingham the day of this run. And I spoke to Bob, and he's going to help me organize a race in Nottingham, which is not scheduled right now. and we'll go out and we'll see what we can do to run for the world.
You've got a little check that I know.
Yes, I'm very, very proud of this. This is from a group of people who are called World Runners, of which I'm one of the founders back in 1979. And this is from a run that they held in Tunisia. There were 70 Britons in that run, and they raised 8,000 pounds and directed me this evening to give this check to Bob Geldorf for Sport Aid. And I'm very proud and happy and privileged to do that.